friends, welcome back everyone, welcome back to the WardiTV Monday number 67. We just wrapped up with the first half of the broadcast. We wrapped up with the round of 16 quarterfinals and the first half of the semis, and now we're here with Clem versus Classic. Remember, Hero is waiting in the grand finals in a best of 5 for the winner of this series. Will it be a Terran versus Protoss or Protoss versus Protoss? We're about to find out here as we're jumping into our first game for the first time tonight. So we're going to be loading into Mothership, the new 3-player spawn map with Clem and Classic. Let's go. Let us go. Now, historically, Classic has had Clem's number, has been one to keep up and to shut him down, but that was in the previous patch, in the previous meta. We'll see how they compare here on Mothership. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Mothership, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the French Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And as we get into the semifinals, a big shout out to Babylings. Thank you so much for the gifted sub to Sinsklar in the chat. God, thank you so much, Babylings. Thank you so much for the support, as always. Thank you so much. We always appreciate the support. I hope you enjoy the gifted sub. Hope you enjoy the emotes. I hope you enjoy the replay packs. Hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for the supports. Hope Sinskar does enjoy as we are getting into our best of 3, getting into our semis. Welcome to Mothership. Mothership is a 3-player spawn map. You can spawn in top side, top right, top left, and a bottom side as well. So there's a little bit of an RNG factor when it comes to spawn locations. Classic, he is going to be scouting the bottom side first. It's going to be a delayed scout for Clem. So Classic going to take a little bit longer to confirm what's going on. Clem going for a very tech-heavy start, going for a double gas opener. Okay, so double gas opener, faster factory, delayed CC, a much more tech-heavy start out of our blue Terran player. Again, Clem is typically one to embrace early game and mid-game aggression. We'll see if Classic can keep up. Let's go. Hope you're having a good New Year. True. Happy New Year. Oh my god. Yeah. It's been very humid here in Sydney. For the past 3 days, it's been like blasting hot, and then in the afternoon it like rains for like 1 or 2 hours. So it becomes very humid in the evening. It's like we're in Singapore. It's like we're in the tropics. So Aussie weather. It's been rain. There you go. It'll be 40 C by Wednesday. Let's go. We'll make it. We'll survive. For now, there's that delayed CC on the high ground for Clem. Classic, he wasn't able to really confirm what was going on. You can see here he didn't get into the main base. For all Classic knows, it could have been a faster CC on the high ground. There could have been a faster factory. Classic is playing blind here as Clem is following up with a 1-1-1. Again, faster starport because of the faster factory. Ooh, Classic playing safe. So because Classic sees nothing, safety shield battery at the natural, and even a safety shield battery in the main base. So very safe play here by Classic. I mean, this is already helping Clem, as Classic is spending resources here on that site defense. Setting up in both faces. Hallucination moves out. Clem rotates into the main. So Classic keeps up with the Reaper. Clem did see the Oracle moving out, but back at home he does have a Cyclone on the way. Marines are revealed. Classic, he sees the timing of the starport, he knows. Yeah, he now knows it was a late expansion. Oh, as Clem, he's going for very early tank production. Now, when it comes to this early 1-1-1, we have seen Clem and other Terran players embrace early Viking support. Yep, there we go, we're pushing. Yeah, Clem is going for a very early push. This build has been very popular amongst players like Clem, players like Bjorn, Maru, even Kira. I mean, all the top Terrans have been mixing this into their play. Essentially, it is hyper aggressive, and what this Viking means is that we're going to be landing the Viking to support the army as well. Landed Viking aggression and landed Vikings actually do a surprising amount of damage to gateway units. And here we go. Clem, he sends everything across the map. This is meant to be a kill move. It's meant to kill. We can see Classic setting up shield batteries. Second shield battery's on the way. Classic did go for how many gateways? 3. So 3 gate blink, a safe setup here by Classic, but he has to engage ahead of time. He wasn't able to. He wasn't able to. Tank is already here. Tank has arrived, getting within range of the shield battery. We'll siege up. Oh, can he focus on the tank in time? One more volley, does get it. Tank goes down just barely. Shield batteries, they put in a lot of work. And Classic is holding. Classic is barely holding on. The Viking was a little bit late. Yeah, late Viking, late support. The battery's out of energy. Clem still trying to kill. Oof. Doesn't save the Cyclone. And again, Classic holds. Classic, he barely holds on, he shuts this down, and Clem, he is hurting here. This entire build was meant to kill, it was meant to deal devastating damage with the first tank. Oh no! Medevac gets hunted down, losing the Viking, the tank, the everything. Yeah, as the Medevac is not going to escape, and Clem, he'll lose control of the center of the map, losing 2 tanks, 2 Vikings, the Medevac, everything falls. And Classic expands. Classic is just chilling, getting his third base. Classic has gained map control, and Clem, he is in a very rough position. Remember, Clem, what did he lose for this build? Stim, combat shields +1, eBay, any kind of follow-up, any kind of upgrades. It was all heavily delayed in favor of this tank production, and he lost all the tanks. All the tanks have gone down. Clem in a rough position. And I have to imagine that the only way out of this is a 2-base all-in. Like, I have to believe that Clem is going to be building up into a 2-base all-in. As getting into a macro game from here, it's going to be so difficult. For now, eBay behind the mineral line. Stim has begun. He's building up on 2 bases. We'll see if he throws down a 4th and 5th racks, or if he throws down a CC. That's what we're looking for. Meanwhile, Classic is chilling. Classic is chilling, getting to Storm. When it comes to Clem's push, when it comes to his move outs, again, it did feel like he hit a little bit too soon before the Viking could arrive to actually punish the Stalkers. Also, that second shield battery did finish up in time. Those 2 batteries, they were the MVPs, ensuring the Classic was able to hold the line, didn't lose anything. Or at least minimal losses. And Clem is going for a second move out, but Storm is done. Storm is going to be ready for this. Let's see Classic once again trying to engage at a time. Getting Marine. Gets one, gets 2. Oh no! Bit of miscontrol there, getting caught out. That should not have happened. Clem does get 1 Stalker for free. Oh! As the Liberator gets across the map. 7 kills on the Liberator. Okay. You have my attention. 7 probe kills. Again, this is the beginning of the comeback. Observer gets caught out. So 3rd TC is on the way. The Observer did scout the 3rd TC. So Clem, he does plan on macroing out of this. And again, the Liberator was a nice first step. The tanks. Oh no, the tanks! The tanks are exposed, and he's going to lose one. He might even lose both. Yeah, 1 tank goes down. He's going for the other, and it looks like he should get it. Oof. Yeah, 2 tank kills. Storm in the Bio Army as well, and I believe there should be another Storm. Clem being picked apart. I believe there's 1 Storm left in this prism, as 2 Storms were used. Classic making his way into the main. Clem going for his own double drop. Classic, remember, he spotted the drop. He's aware. Did go back home. As we get the Storm drop into the main. Ooh, 8 SCVs. 8 SCV kills, not enough anti-air. Nicely powering of the gateways, but Classic, he's ready at home. He has Storms at home. He has Storms across the map. And Clem, he's hurting. Zell's taken into the mineral line. Clem dropping on the south side instead. Going for the 3rd. Ah, there's a recall. There's a recall available. Double drop back into the main base. Classic out of position. Okay. Classic being pulled apart. Ah, but Zelt's warping in. Classic, can he defend? Where the high temp are going? He's being dragged back and forth. There's a first Storm. There's 1, 2 storms. Not the most efficient trade here, but the army is dealt with. Yeah, storms are all over the place. They're everywhere. Classic storms, classic defense, and classic heal 39 SCVs. That is game-ending damage. The drop was okay here from Clem, but he just lost far too much. He lost far too much across the map. Losing 2 mineral lines worth of workers. Losing all of his tanks, and even here losing his army. Again, these are losses that Clem can afford, and he's going to lose his medevacs as well. Oof. Losing 2 medevacs. Losing the Viking. And the Archon barely got out of there. And it's all or nothing for Clem. I mean, at this point, I don't see this really working, but it's all he's got. He's got to just send it. Ugh. Storms, they blanket the army. Feedbacks as well. And again, we're down to 2 Marauders and 6 Marines. Down to 2 Marines. No. And nice target firing of the classic. Cleaning up the entirety of the army. Clem escaping with 1 medevac. Not even. Oh god. Doesn't get away with anything. And for a while now, we've been huffing quite a bit of copium here. Ah, the copium pack. It's strong. And again, it was just a really rough start. It was a really rough start with a failed aggression. Referring to Clem's first push with his tank, where he lost a tank. It was the first thing that was lost, first thing that was hearted. Storm in the middle line, 3rd CC now under fire. And GG gets called. GG gets called. Classic, he will take a lead in the series. He will take game number 1. GG. Whew. And GG, well played. Again, it was just a very rough start there for Clem. Winding it back, Clem, he initially opened up with a 1-1-1 early tank push with a medevac with a Viking, but if you remember, he hit before the Viking was there to reinforce, so his tank was vulnerable, his tank was exposed, and his tank was the first thing to go down. And without that tank, I mean, that was the backbone of his army, right? That was the backbone of his army. Without that tank, he had no staying power. He couldn't push into the natural. Classic was more than ready for it. He had his second shield battery, he had his warp ins, and Classic shut down the aggression, shut down the... I wouldn't call it an all-in, but he shut down the aggression. He just stripped away any kind of momentum that Clem had, and then it was just a snowball. It was just a domino effect from there. If you remember, Clem, he then lost 2 more tanks after that in the center of the map. When he picked up his Marines, his tanks were exposed. He lost 2 more tanks. He lost his workers, his mineral lines. It was just brutal from there. GG. GG, well played. As Classic gained and maintained all that momentum, and now we're loading into game number 2. Let's go. Loading into game 2, and we'll see if Clem can bounce back. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can recover. We'll see if he can force the ace match. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Virtus Pro, leading the series 1-0. It is a Classic. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the French Terran player. Yeah, the French Terran, we have the blue Terran for Team Liquid. It is Clem. Let's go. Let's go. So we're getting into game 2 here again. Classic has leading the series, and we'll see if Clem goes for another aggressive build. Welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is one of the smaller maps in the map pool, shorter rush distance by ground, a more open and exposed third base option, so we do often see a lot more aggressive builds here, but we'll see. It comes down to what Clem decides to go for. I do feel like it's going to be more up to Classic to react to Clem's build of choice, but we'll see. But now Classic does move out. Moves out with the probe scout. This time, Clem is going for a more economic start. Remember, last game, Clem went for a faster second gas geyser. He went for a double gas opener into a faster factory, into a faster starport, into the 111. This time, Clem is going for a faster base. So SCV moves down to low ground, looking to expand and claim that CC. Classic is too late to block. Yeah, too late to block for Classic. And so far, again, Clem having a nice economic start. Clem even skipping his SCV scouts and also going Marine first. If you remember, we spoke about this during the previous series, during the Gumiho series. Well, this is a lot more common at this level of play for the Terran player to just forego scouting early on. It can be risky, especially if the Protoss player decides to go for a proxy Stargate, or even just a Stargate opener, something that isn't standard. We'll see. So Marine into Tech Lab into early add-on swap. Greedy follow-up here by Clem. There's the add-on swap. And one Twilight Counter open under Classic, going into Blink. Oh, hello, 007, hello. Bienvenidos. There's your early Cyclone. Oh, do you see what I see? That is a second rack. Second racks before starport. Hyper aggression. Hyper aggression. If we go for a third racks, and we do go for a third racks, 2 base all in. 2 base all in. Clem is going for a very delayed starport, a delayed medevac production in favor of early stim and early marine production. So a hefty army is being set up here by Clem off of an economic opener, and so far Classic has no idea. Classic doesn't know what's coming. It is Ruby Rock, so this kind of build is kind of expected on a map like Ruby Rock. I would say the same about Tourmaline. I would say the same about 10,000 feet. So Classic, I'm sure this is in the back of his mind, but Classic has yet to confirm. But now Classic getting a safety shield battery on the low grounds. He's going for, I believe, a third gate. Yes, so 3-gate blink into a robo, shield battery in the low ground. A very safe play here by Classic. But he's yet to confirm. Setting up a spotter pylon for drops. And we'll see if Classic can keep up. Oh, Clem, okay, is going for the eBay variation of this, so going for a +1. And this is looking very similar to the timing that, was it Cure? Timing that Cure went for? No, sorry, Gumiho in game 1. Gumiho in game 1, he went for the +1 timing. That was on the Old Republic. So Clem is still building up. More Classic blink is complete. Now building up into charge. His Stalkers, they have to move out. They have to engage ahead of time and slow down the push. Maybe even bait out a stim. But the pressure's on Classic. Clem is just building up. He's building up his bio. No bunker. Remember, there's no tanks just because of the build of choice. There's no tanks whatsoever. So Classic can abuse this position. But Stim is finishing up in 8 seconds. Classic could have been more active here.
Additional supply depots required. Research
Prism is zoned away. And Stim is complete. Classic, he does blink. Tries to blink away. Oh! Doesn't quite get the medevac. Let's reuse this for Stim. First Stim gets used. Classic has to get the hell out of here, and he will lose the Prism. Oh! Oh my god, barely gets away. Prism pulls out. Classic pulls back to his third base. Clem behind this getting his own third TC. But again, we're expecting a little bit more here from Clem's army. Expecting more. Clem got one Stalker. So they catch one Stalker. Drop into the main base, get spotted. Classic warps in back at home. Go, doesn't get the Marauder. Hot pick up at a Clem. Very nice control. Clem pokes in. Medevac gets caught. At the same time, the main army does push towards the her base, and a Classic is out of position. He's racing over. Does race over. No shield batteries. Oof. He'll take both mites to the face, and he's running out of zealots here. It looks like there's barely enough. Yeah, Classic, he barely has enough. Shuts down the army, keeps on chasing. Picks off the medevac as well. Reinforcements trying to come in from behind, running into more zealots. A better trade here for Classic. As more zealots, they just collapse on the reinforcements. Decent mine connections. Classic pulls out. Classic, he pulls out, he pulls away. So far, it was a better defense from Classic, but Classic doesn't have a fourth. No fourth base, so Clem is catching up, if not exceeding Classic economically. Getting his third base. If you recall earlier, I assumed that Clem was going to go for a 2-base all-in, but this third CC was eventually thrown down, and Classic, he wasn't really expecting this. I think he also was expecting an all-in. Classic needs to expand. Thankfully, what Classic has, though, is 4 High Templar. That's a lot of High Templar, that's a lot of Storms. So Classic can still take a fight, but he is on the low ground. Classic has to respond. Clem sees an opening, stims forward. Oof. Storm on the Widow Mines. Catching at 1, 2, catching at all 3 Widow Mines. 3 mines go down. There's what, 3 storms left. Classic trying to distract, at the same time going for a zealot run by.
Our SCVs are
And Zealots are going for the third base. Clem turns everything around. Reinforcements getting caught. And a bit of a missing gauge here. Where are the storms? Oof. Storms not coming in. Storms come in, and not many SCVs go down. A nice defense here by Clem. And you can see the supply disparity here in favor of Clem. Classic's home position is just so fragile. Just Zealots, High Templar. It's a very fragile composition. And speaking of fragile, it does lead with High Templar. Oh my god. Stacks of storms. He still has more where that came from. And the storms are decent, but he needs more damage. He needs to get more done. Still holding on to another storm. Oof. One more left. One more storm. Once again, zones away. And that's it. The final storm. And with that, Clem is holding. Clem heals. Nice EMP. He shuts down the army. And again, that was all that Classic had. As he fails to break the third base. Mirror Clem can clean up. He can counterattack. There's nothing back at home. At Classic, he lost everything here in the assault. That's all he had. Now, if given time, Classic can build up his Colossus. He's making 2 at a time. But Clem has a massive advantage here. Up in army, Marauders, Bio. Has plenty to work with. Again, we spoke about it earlier, but Classic, his 4th base was just too late. His 4th base was just far too late. Classic has been behind economically for the past, what, 3 minutes? 4 minutes? Just late 4th, late economy, smaller army as a result. And Classic had to break the space, and they failed to do so. Failed to break the third. If given time, Classic can recover, but the problem here is that Clem shouldn't be giving him that time. As again, there's just so little support for the army. Yes, there are 2 Colossus. Yes, there are 5 High Templar, but we need more beef to this army here. We need more Zealots, more Chargers, more Stalkers. The support just isn't there. Not yet. Classic is slowly closing that gap. Classic is slowly getting there. Let me rotate. Claim you backed off. Now I'm a little bit surprised. If you remember, I just spoke about this, how like Classic, if given time, he can recover. Clem's been very passive. He's been very passive after winning his engagements. He pulled back, he got a 4th base, and he's slowly building up into Ghosts and Liberators. Now technically Clem is perfecting his army, that is true, but this has given Classic the opportunity to build up his own. As he rotates over towards the 3rd base, he wants that CC. He cannot get through though. He has so many Vikings, they punish the Colossus. Patient play here by Clem, using hold position micro. Getting a very delicate dance, nice EMP. You can see here that Classic, he doesn't have that many storms left. He has 3 High Templar remaining with energy. Yeah, final storm. That was the final storm. Classic has to back off. He fails to break this position once again, and we mentioned it that Clem, he's been perfecting his army now with more Ghosts, more Vikings, and soon to be Liberators as well. So again, the soup does lie. As in, Classic was maxed earlier, but one army isn't quite like the other. As Classic is being bullied back. And Classic is being outscaled. Just being outscaled. As Clem peels off, going for a Doom Drop. Oh, getting into the main. Collapsing forward. Now bearing in mind that Clem is fighting with only a portion of his army. He's got a good quarter across the map, but he is breaking through. Jesus, forcing the recall even. Let's force a recall. Oh, doesn't quite get a Colossus. We'll lose some units though. Clem bleeding off some units, just trading out some bio. Behind this, reinforcing with those Liberators. I believe Liberator range is already done. Oh, not quite. Not yet. But he has the fusion core. He has the core. So again, EMPs are popping up. Oof. Getting another Colossus. Getting a high HP Colossus as well. And the liberation has arrived. He has the freedom. It's finally here. Yeah, Liberators push forward. They force the Stalkers in. They do focus on both Liberators, but it's going to cost the entire army here. The Stalkers go down. The Colossus goes down. No more High Templar. No more Storms. And Clem, he can stim, and he can win. GG gets called. Clem ties up the series 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We are going to the ace match. Again, a classic. He was putting so much here when it came to his initial move out, but even before that, I want to say that if you remember, Clem, he went for a very aggressive initial opener, but he got a third CC behind it, and Classic was so engrossed and so fixated on that defense that he did fall behind economically. Even though Clem with his initial push didn't break the third, he was able to trade well enough and keep Classic distracted while he expanded. You know, Classic was stuck on 3 bases, late 4th base and late 5th base. With that, fell behind economically, fell behind supply wise, and Classic was never quite able to recover. GG, well played. Clem was able to get comfortable in the mid game, and with that, we now have a back and forth. We have a series, and we'll see who will claim the series. It all comes down to the final game on Winter Madness. We're going to be loading into that ace match. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the red Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss, representing Team Virtus Pro, being forced into a tie-up series. Can he bring it back? It is Classic. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player. We have the French Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. There we go. So chat, has allowed a reset yet? I don't think so. I mean, the season is still, I mean, it feels like the season is still relatively new. It's been like 2 months, right? Am I crazy? It's been like 2 months since the season's been live. Maybe 3? There we go. The new season went live in November, right? I think it was November. End of October. There we go. Here we go. We're getting into Winter Madness. Winter Madness is a much larger map of the map pool, larger map, more defensive bases, and we do often see longer and later games as a result. And we'll see if we can embrace a more longer and later game setup. Let's go. For now, economic opener. Single gas here by Clem. Clem going for a Rax into CC on the low ground, going for a more economic build, just like last game. Now remember, last game, Clem, he went for a 3-rack setup before the star put into a heavy bio composition. And he wasn't able to kill Classic, but he was able to get a massive lead as he was able to successfully contain Classic on 3 bases. Contain him on a low base count, on a low economy. And Clem just took a lead from there. See in the chat, Thunder, EMP versus Thunder. Ah, no. Yeah, when I think Thunder, I think of the Brood War Storm, to be fair. That's the best part of SC Evolution. The Brood War Storm. Now though, we do have our Twilight Council opener for Classic. Once again, it's going to be Marine into Tech Lab into Earthy Cyclone. And this is looking just like game 2, just like last game. Going for the second racks, most likely the third racks, into an add-on swap into Stim, into a hefty bio composition, into later medevacs. So far, same build 2 games in a row out of Clem. I will say that this should be less effective on Winter Madness because of the size of the map. And due to the size of the map, Classic is going to have more time to scout, and more time to react, and more time to respond. Assuming this is a third racks. Yep, there it is, third racks. So third racks is on the way. There's the add-on swap into Stim. So again, same build. Now, if you recall last game, I assumed that this was the beginning of a 2-base all-in, but Clem did actually expand behind it, and he took an economic lead. As Classic overreacted and was stuck on a lower base count. We'll see if Clem does it again. Oh, those are extra gateways though, so Classic is adjusting his response. Clem is going for the same build, but Classic going for 4-gate blink. I do actually really like this for Classic. So one of the big weaknesses of Clem's build, and we briefly mentioned it last game, was lack of tanks, right? There was 0 tanks last game for Clem, especially because this should be an add-on swap. Yep, as you can see, the factory is only being used for add-on swapping. So we're just add-on swapping non-stop, getting into stim, getting into combat shields. There is that 1 safety cyclone, but 0 defensive tanks. So defending against 4 Gatling Stalker is actually very difficult for the Terran, as they're going to be relying on purely Marines, purely Bio, no defensive bunkers. That is greedy here from Clem. No bunkers being set up. And Classic is going to be pushing. Now, we'll see if Classic can hit pre-stim. If he can hit pre-stim, he could break Clem and then just kill him. As here comes a move out. Stalkers are moving out. Here comes a War Prism as well. Classic is pushing. And again, there's a window in time here where he can abuse Clem. This is also the downside of going for the same build 2 games in a row. We'll see if Clem can get away with it. Can he get away with it? Classic warping in 4 Stalkers at a time. You can see Stim is almost done. Stim is almost done. He needs a little bit more time. Stalkers have hit the natural. No bunker. He's going for the Marauder. He gets one. The Marauder goes down. Stim is 10 seconds away. We're 10 seconds away from Stim. We should be seeing another warp in. Oh, lock on the Stalkers. Getting 1, getting 2. Yeah, 2 Stalkers go down. Stim is now complete, and Clem will punish. Yeah, big punish here. Doesn't get the Prism. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Stalkers blink away. Prism does pull out. You can see Classic is banking resources. He missed a warp in. Yeah, straight up. He just missed a warp in there during the engage. Behind this, getting his 3rd base, trying to transition, and Clem so far is keeping up. He's holding. He is holding on. Ooh, I say that Siphon goes down. Where are the blinks? Blinks away, but still bleeds out another couple of Stalkers here. Rough trades, rough engagements here for Classic. This is not worth it. And Clem is just out trading. He's out trading Classic even here, failing to pick up that Stalker. So some rough micro, some rough control. And what's scary here is that this 4-gate blink build had to do more damage. Remember, Classic delayed his 3rd base for this. His 3rd base is late because of this build. He needs to get more done. 3rd TC is on the way for Clem. Oh. Slow because they jump into the main. Sorry, into the natural. Getting a wind mine, getting some damage. I mean, this is okay, but Classic needs more. Now, Classic is going to have a power spike with this Colossus. Unlike the previous games, Classic is not going in a Storm, he's going to Colossus first. So, Colossus production has begun. Classic going back in. Once again, baiting out stims. Clem is still pushing though. He spots the 4th base. There's 1 Colossus. There's a couple of Stalkers. Charge is done. Okay, he has a warp in. He has a warp in. Classic can hold. Oh. Classic is spots to move out. Doesn't get the Marauder. No, he blinks in. Bleeds out a Stalker. But he's distracting. He's buying time. He's now up to 2 Colossus. 2nd Colossus has arrived. Not getting into a 3rd. Classic trying to bypass the main army. Oh, does run into him. Getting, what, 2, 3 Marauders, not bad. Rotating over to the 3rd. Clem, he was the one that was out of position this time, but a massive mine shot. Oh my God. Mind Shot goes off on all the Zealots, and Classic has to retreat. And again, as the dust settles here, Clem is still in a better economic position. Classic did have a faster 4th base this time, thankfully, but his worker count here is still quite low. Now switching into Mass Disruptor. Second Robo's on the way into double Disruptor production. Now, what I will say is that thankfully Classic didn't lose any Colossi, so he has been able to retain the core units of his army. Retain the Colossus. At least he has his 4th base, but still a rocky position here for Classic. Meanwhile, I believe this Liberator gets free damage. Yeah, there's no way to deal with this. There's no way to deal with it. Ooh, forcing out a Stargate. Ay, ay, ay. As that is an abusable position, and that Liberator can just deny mining from, what, 4 patches. Jesus. Classic getting a 5th. And he's at Phoenix or Void Ray. There aren't many positions like this, but they're few and far between, but they're still there every now and then. So yep, there we go. Phoenix is on the way to deal with this. Getting a Phoenix. Bold move, going for the Nova. Very nice connection. Nova pops up. But the Disruptor is targeted. Disruptor does go down. It was a nice Nova, but it mainly connected with Marauders, and they survived. They're being healed up. They're already healed up, actually. Oh, Liberator finally goes down. Clem, he's now maxed. Now, on the one hand, yes, Classic is down in army supply. He's down in economy. He's in a rough position. But thanks to all these Disruptors, he has a chance. Disruptors have a lot of potential here. If the Novas can connect consecutively, then Classic can take a fight. But he's putting a lot of his hopes here in those Disruptors. It's all going to be in the Novas pack. Disruptors are moving in. As Clem's army is built to tank some Novas as well. That's the other issue. It's got a very tanky army. It's very Marauder heavy. Fusion Core's on the way. That's going to be for the Liberators. It's going to be for the Freedom. Classic's got 4 Novas. You gotta count them. There's a first. First Nova goes off, no connection. He's got 3 Novas left. Clears him into the main. Clem is max, so he has no production. As he peels off a couple of units. Disruptor's moving forward. Fishing for a shot. First Nova goes off. Again, Gray's in the army, but these Marauders, they just tank those shots. They tank him. Oh, gets a Ghost. Ghost gets caught out. Decent EMPs. We get some okay Novas here towards the end. Gray's in the army, getting a handful of Marines, but it's not good enough. And Clem, he will shut this down. He shuts this down. He controlled well. He spread well. Again, so all those Disruptors, he lost like 6 Marines. Like, that was crazy. And now he can just stim forward. He can just stim and win. Takes out every Disruptor. Zealots, they attempt to flank. But Clem will overwhelm. As reinforcements are on the way. Classic is running out of Zealots. Oh, Classic blink forward. Uh-oh. Let's get the hell out of here. As Classic, his blink is punished. And again, he lost all of his power units. He lost all the Colossus and Disruptors. So his robot army was reset. He's now making 3 Disruptors at a time. The problem here is that Classic is being outscaled. What is Clem remaxing on? Well, eventually, Liberators. Right, Liberator range is on the way. Advanced ballistics has begun. So Clem is perfecting his army. Classic going for the mothership. Sorry, going for the fleet beacon. Setting up for Sky Toss. I do think that this is a mature decision, but at the same time, this also feels just a really rough position for Classic to be in. Ideally, you want to be switching into Sky Toss while you have momentum on your side, while you have map control. That isn't really the case. Classic does have map control, but he just lost the fight. Classic is mass expanding. We have more starports on the way. Are they crazy? Have they just stopped building? Wait, what? What am I looking at? Is that a bug? Oh, no, there they are. So 2 starports, they were being built, but they were stopped mid-progression. That was from the Zealot run-by, if you remember. Hopefully Clem notices in time. That was going off, not quite connecting. And nice pull back here by Clem. Pulls back in time, snipes another disruptor. And finally, a decent connection. I want to say that's the best connection we've seen so far. And I splits out of Clem, he avoids a Nova. Does take a couple shots to the face. But again, he will reset the disruptors once again. Snipes every disruptor. Is going to get surrounded though. Has to get the hell out of here. Nice hit up by, nice flank by Classic. Nice flank, nice surround. Clem has to pull back. And again, the lack of starports is hurting. He needs those libs. He needs the liberators. Oh, Jesus. As liberation has finally arrived, but again, the liberator production has been stifled. Novas are popping off. Massive connections. Classic is doing it. The Novas connect for the first time. Big connections. Now we're just gonna keep going. Just gonna keep going. Keep pushing. Este Classic. He rotates over, going for the planetary. Nova goes off once again. Oh my god! They're finally connecting, Pappy. Ay ay ay. Yeah, massive Novas. Mineral line goes down. And you can see here the duality of disruptors. Like if you see them whipping and just get no damage, you just get annihilated in these fights. If they connect though, then you can dominate. Those, I want to say 3 good Novas here relatively consecutively. Like in that one big engage. Mineral line went down. Clem's economy is stifled. Down to 45 SCVs. Clem, he needed that base. There's a melee zone. A little bit trigger happy there from Classic this time. A little bit trigger happy wasting those Novas. He gets punished for it. Has to pull back. But again, with his superior economy, we have the massive wave of charge. Lots of Swarm Toss is here, Pappy. The Swarm Toss. Classic is remaxing. He can keep going. Can keep going. Recalling with the mothership, diving on the base. Once again, ensuring that Clem cannot expand. Going for the CC. Doesn't kill it though. Not ideal. Yeah, it doesn't quite kill, but does catch out a couple of liberators. That's what, 3-4 liberators going down. Some okay Novas. Classic has to pull away. He's running at his zealots. He's counterattacking. Yeah, he's going to be counterattacking instead. Pulls back with the main army. Tries to save the mothership, but will be able to. Zealot the third. Unfortunately, not too many SCVs. But does deny mining. Guy's mining, ideally forces a lift. Clem is being pulled apart. And again, Clem, he never got to his perfect army, right? He was close. He was so close to perfecting his army. But again, his limited production was delayed. One more volley. Ooh, doesn't kill the CC. Doesn't get the planetary. But once the ball started rolling, Classic, he's not stopping. And again, Clem, he hasn't been able to push, right? He hasn't been able to move out. As a result, he kind of punished the fringe bases. Classic moving in once again. Diving on the planetary. This time he will kill. There is a pop-up. Pop-off, they buy time. Base full, 12 more SCVs. And coming into this, I was expecting a TvP finals, but it's not going to happen. GG gets called. Classic will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Classic, he will claim the series. He'll advance on to the grand finals. Again, it was a very intense final game here, very back and forth. Initially, Clem had the stronger start. Clem, he was able to shut down the army, able to maintain his 4 bases, able to max out. But remember, Clem, he was working on his Liberator transition, but because it was maxed out, the Zealot drop in the main base did disrupt his production, did actually stop 2 more starports from finishing, which did delay any kind of Liberators, which meant that there was an extended period of time where Classic could actually engage. And that's when the Novas connected. That's when the disruptors did pay off. He was able to land some juicy Novas, able to take better fights, and then eventually catch Clem with his pants down and kill the 5th base. The 5th base, if you remember, he was able to kill 16 SCVs, deny mining at the 5th, and the 5th base never got up. It never got up and running. With that, Clem, he just ran out of steam, ran out of money, never got to 5th base. GG. GG, well played. Whew. As Classic will advance on to the grand finals. In chat, using disruptors versus Clem must be the worst feeling ever. I mean, they landed. Like they there was some big connections back. Eventually, to be fair, eventually. But GG, well played. With that, Classic will claim the series. With that, we're heading into the grand finals. It's going to be a PvP between Classic and Hero. Let's go. Again, Classic is usually the one to stand in the way of Clem, and that is the case this time as well. Again, it was still very intense, very close, very clutch. Clem, there were definitely moments where he was ahead here in this game, but we did speak about that one moment, though, where his production was stifled, where Classic was able to distract him, able to engage, and able to land those Novas, and able to stop the 5th base from getting up. So, big moment there for Classic. And now we're getting into the grand finals. Here we go.